Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another video. It is the weekly news roundup, the show where we usually sit down on a Friday and talk about all of the latest Everton news, but today we're sitting down on a Thursday. It is of course Christmas Eve. A very Merry Christmas to everybody watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day tomorrow. I hope you all get everything that you asked for and you just enjoy it, because it's been an absolutely dreadful year, and you know, Christmas Day is the one day that, you know, pretty much everybody has their spirits heightened, and you know, they're smiling and everything's just a lot more positive than it usually is, and we desperately need that after an awful year. So I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. We are doing it on a Thursday of course this week because it's Christmas tomorrow, and there has been a little bit of Everton news to talk about, starting with the biggest bit of news and information from this past week, and that is that Everton are preparing to offer Luca Digne a new contract. The left back obviously has massively impressed since joining Everton Football Club and has been absolutely brilliant since Carlo Ancelotti has come into the club. And Paul Joyce, as well as Sky Sports, put out an article, and Paul Joyce put out a tweet a couple of days ago as to state that Everton are preparing to offer Luca Digne a new deal. Luca Digne put up an Instagram and Twitter picture of himself in the Everton kit with the eyes emoji and the heart, and then Carlo Ancelotti was asked about it in his pre-game press conference to the Manchester United game, and the first thing he said was that we are pleased to try and renew Luca Digne's contract. He has been a fantastic player for the club and will be in the future. And then he was asked if there'd be any sort of issue with that, and he said that don't see there being any problem. He is happy here. So that is obviously fantastic news. Luca Digne is for me one of, if not the best left back on the planet. He is absolutely fantastic going forward. He's brilliant. We've missed his creativity so much in the last couple of games or so that he hasn't obviously been available. I know we've had a couple of really good results in the Premier League, but we've still missed that creativity down the left hand side. Ben Godfrey has done absolutely fantastically, to be fair. Since he's come in, he's been really solid, really composed on that left-hand side. But we all know Ben Godfrey doesn't really offer you very much going forward. He'll offer you a lot defensively, but he won't offer you what Luca Digne can offer you going forward. And like I said, for me, Luca Digne is within the top 3 best left-backs in world football, certainly the best left-back in the Premier League. And hopefully we can get him tied down to a new contract. That'll be absolutely massive for the football club. So that is the biggest bit of news coming out of Everton for this week, and that is that Everton are preparing to offer Luca Digne a new deal, and that Carlo Ancelotti has said that there shouldn't be an issue with him signing it, as he is happy here. So absolutely fantastic news there. Carlo Ancelotti has confirmed that Richarlison is okay after the knock that he took in the Carabao Cup quarter-final against Manchester United last night. He had the collision with Eric Bailly and Bruno Fernandes and unfortunately had to come off the pitch. He looked like he was knocked out for a couple of seconds. There was rumours that he was spitting blood as well. He didn't want to come off. You know, again, in typical Richarlison fashion, he wanted to stay on. He wanted to dig deep, he wanted to get involved, he wanted to get his own back, he wanted to help the team out, but the doctors did advise that he would be taken off. And of course, that's understandable. Look, he's possibly concussed, you know, it's a really nasty head injury, and you would assume that the doctors would make that decision. Richarlison himself has come out on Twitter and thanked everybody for their well wishes. He said he's spoken to Eric Bailly, who has apologised to him, and he is doing fine. Like I said, Carlo Ancelotti come out in the post-game press conference to yesterday's game and spoke about how Richarlison is doing okay, and they will continue to monitor him over the next couple of days or so. Whether or not he'll be available for the game against Sheffield United on Boxing Day, we don't know. Obviously, it'd be a difficult one, because usually when players have head injuries and situations like this, even when they say they're okay, even when the managers say they're okay, sometimes the club doctors say, you know what, you may be best sort of sitting out for at least a game or two, just so we can be absolutely completely sure. But I'm sure Richarlison will have all of the relevant tests and stuff done on him to make sure that he is okay. But according to the player, he's fine. According to Carlo Ancelotti, he is fine, and it's just a case of monitoring him over the next couple of days, which is good news, because it did look like a really nasty injury, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go into the details of it because we've spoken about it a lot today, but it did look like a really nasty injury, so it's good news that Richarlison himself is okay and he's come away with it without any serious issues. Liverpool City region will remain in Tier 2 for at least the next however many days, weeks, who knows, until the next review of the tier system. It was announced earlier on this week that Liverpool City region would stay in tier 2. Regions that are on the outskirts, such as Warrington and Cheshire, I believe, will move into tier 3. However, Liverpool City region will stay within tier 2. And this means that Everton can still have 2,000 fans at Goodison Park. Like I said, for the time being, we don't know how long it will last, of course, with the government changing it every 5 minutes. We don't know when, we'll go into another national lockdown, if we'll go into another national lockdown, but at least for the moment, we know that we will remain in tier 2 as a city, and 2,000 fans will still be allowed to go to Goodison Park to watch the Toffees. Everton only one of 2 teams that are, of course, allowed to have fans in the stadium, the other being Liverpool, of course, within the city. I think Brighton and Southampton were the only other 2 teams prior to this week that would allow fans in the stadium, and those areas have been moved up into either tier 3 or tier 4, so they won't be allowed fans anymore. So it's only the Liverpool City region that can have fans in football stadiums, meaning that 2,000 fans can still visit Goodison Park to watch the Toffees. A little bit of transfer news then. According to Mikos Guaka, Feyenoord are interested in signing Everton striker Cenk Tosun on loan in January. They have been rumoured to be interested in bringing him in until the end of the season in January. Very good for the player, of course. He's not getting much game time now at Goodison Park. I would assume he'd want to move on. Slightly worrying for Everton, of course, because Cenk Tosun is our backup striker. And obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin's played an awful lot of Premier League games and games in general recently. And if Dom has, picks up an injury or has to come out to be rested for whatever reason, which is understandable because, like I said, he's played an awful lot of games and we've got an awful lot of games within the next coming weeks or so, then we don't really have anybody to come in and replace them other than Cenk Tosun. Obviously, Moise Keane's out on loan in PSG, doing really well over there. So if we do allow Cenk Tosun to leave the football club, for me, it's an absolute necessity to bring a striker in. It's not even a question, it's an absolute necessity because that would leave Dominic Calvert-Lewin as the only first-team striker. I know you've got Ellis Sims there, but he's had no experience whatsoever. Okay, Richarlison could play up front, but that's not ideal. So it'd be really, really interesting to see how this one pans out. Of course, the rumour is just stating that Feyenoord are interested in Cenk Tosun. Everton could turn around and say, no, we're not letting him go because we haven't got the cover. But it's an interesting one, nevertheless. Willie Kirk and Chris Roberts have signed new contracts with Everton Football Club, meaning that Willie Kirk will continue as Everton women's manager and Chris Roberts as assistant manager until at least 2023. This is absolutely fantastic news. Both Willie and Chris have done an absolutely fantastic job with Everton women so far. They've been in relatively good form this season. They've been working really hard, picked up some big results. And again, Willie Kirk's come into the football club and done an absolutely fantastic job, as well as Chris Roberts with the Everton women. They took part in the Goodison Park Sleepout earlier on this year. I was lucky enough to be able to talk to some of the players, talk to some of the coaches as well, and they're really, really nice. They're down to earth, understand football, understand what they need to do, and you can see that with the performances of Everton women sort of weekly, and they've been in really, really good form. Obviously reached the cup final earlier on this season, which unfortunately they did lose, but put in a valiant effort, and it's fantastic news that Willie Kirk and Chris Roberts have signed on the dotted line and will continue at the football club until at least 2023. That is absolutely fantastic to hear. Carlo Ancelotti has been talking this week about Jean-Philippe Gbamin. Obviously, there was a rumour a couple of days ago about the potential of Jean-Philippe Gbamin picking up another sort of injury on top of the one that he's got, and it being a pushback and him being out for even longer. Carlo Ancelotti was asked about this in his press conference prior to the Manchester United game, and he said, the truth is Gbamin is back. We want to do a proper entry for him in the squad because he has had a lot of injuries, so we have to take care of him. So again, fantastic that Carlo Ancelotti has completely come out and just nullified those rumours as to state that Jean-Philippe Gbamin has picked up a further injury and will be out for even longer than we originally anticipated. Again, a little bit of a difficult one with Gbamin because Carlo did say about 4 weeks ago that he'd be back in training within 2 weeks and ready to play within 2 weeks, but obviously we haven't seen that. He is continuing his recovery, and I'm sure that the club are trying to do, trying to adopt baby steps with Jean-Philippe Gbamin because of the injuries that he's had and how long he's been out. And I don't think any of us ever really expected him to be back in training on a Monday and starting the game on a Saturday. He's been out for over a year now, well over a year with serious injuries, so he does need to be gradually introduced back into training and back into the team, and I do think it'll be still quite a while before we see Jean-Philippe Gbamin in an Everton shirt. You may see him in Finch Farm over the next couple of weeks or so, but he's not going to be match fit for a long time, let's be perfectly honest. Earlier on this week, Monday, marked the 1-year anniversary of Carlo Ancelotti as Everton manager. Carlo took over on the 21st of December 2019, and of course that was 1 year ago on Monday. He said, "Everton is a beautiful club. The place is a family, a real family, and passionate. The ultimate aim is to be fighting at the top of the table, fighting for titles, and to be competitive in Europe." So fantastic words there from Carlo Ancelotti. I think we can all agree that since he's come into Everton Football Club, we have improved massively, taking away the result against Manchester United yesterday in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Even some of the results that we've had since Carlo's come in, the victory against Watford coming back from 2 goals down, the victory against Spurs at the start of this season, absolutely brilliant. The last 3 games have shown how good tactically he is as a manager. 3 Premier League games have shown how tactically fantastic he is as a manager, and I think we all know that there's a big future ahead for Everton Football Club with Carlo Ancelotti at the realm in the manager's area, and it's absolutely fantastic that he loves the club as much as we love him, and there is going to be frustrating times because unfortunately not everything is under his control in terms of the squad and the quality of the squad and the depth of the squad, but that's something that he and Marcel Brands will have to work on in the coming transfer windows to improve. But it's clear the impact Carlo Ancelotti's had on the football club. It's clear the impact that having somebody with the qualifications and with the CV and with the experience that Carlo has had on our football club. The players love him. The players are working hard for him. Look at Gylfi Sigurdsson over the last couple of weeks. He's been working an awful lot harder. Alex Iwobi looks a different player recently as well. So there's a big future ahead. I know it's not brilliant today because we've just lost the quarter-final of a cup, but the last 3 Premier League games have been absolutely fantastic. We're sitting 4th in the Premier League going into Christmas Day, only 5 points off the top. We play Sheffield United, who haven't won a game this season, on Boxing Day. Hopefully we can get another 3 points there and continue the fantastic form. Carlo Ancelotti also spoke about Ben Godfrey earlier this week. It was after the game against Arsenal. He said Ben Godfrey is doing a fantastic job because he is not playing in his usual position. He is showing he is a really intelligent player, tactically a really top player. He is replacing a fantastic left back, that is Luca Digne. Absolutely fantastic words from Carlo there. I think we can all agree that Ben Godfrey has been brilliant since coming in at left back to replace Luca Digne. He's been absolutely fantastic. His work rate is unbelievable. His defensive capabilities are fantastic as well. And he's just been absolutely brilliant. So I think Carlo is absolutely spot on there. And I can't wait to see more of Ben Godfrey within the next coming weeks and months. I think he's going to be a top player. And has got all of the attributes to be a future Everton captain for me. And finally, Carlo Ancelotti spoke about Sami Khedira earlier on this week. Due to the rumours linking Sami Khedira with a move to Everton, Carlo Ancelotti said, "No, Sami Khedira was my player at Real Madrid, an important player for us. I have a good memory of him, but I don't think we are looking for him at this moment, maybe in January." So there you go. Who knows? Sami Khedira himself has been quite vocal about wanting to play in the Premier League and wanting to play under Carlo Ancelotti once again. And Carlo's really come out there and just sort of nullified it, as he does with any transfer rumours at this time of the year, to be fair. He comes out and says, look, we're focusing on the league. We're focusing on, continuing with our good run of form. I'm not really looking at transfers yet because the transfer window isn't open, and I think that's spot on from Carlo. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's weekly news roundup. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new. Massive thanks for watching as per usual. Really do appreciate all of the support. I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. Like I said, enjoy it. Let's be positive because it's been a dreadful year, and it'd be dead good to just be happy and positive for at least a day, wouldn't it? Big thanks for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas to everybody watching and your family and friends. I hope you all have a fantastic time. Stay safe, and yeah, up the toffees. Cheers for watching, and we'll see you soon.